Bonjour, Madame Grasse, comment ça va?
Ah, bonjour Brigitte. Bonjour tout le monde.
Excellent, Grace. We are so happy to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Et comment ça va?
Ah, ça va bien. Un
Excellent,
peu, un peu nervous, but ça va bien.
excellent. Well, Grace, you go ahead whenever you're ready, and thank you so much for preparing. Oui, commence, oui.
Ah. Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Grace Adolfo. Je veux expliquer pourquoi j'aime bien les cours de français avec Brigitte. Dans le passé, j'ai essayé d'apprendre en français sans raison particulière. Euh, Cela a commencé quand j'étais au lycée. Je suis née au Ghana, une colonie britannique où l'anglais est la langue officielle. Mais j'ai appris le français et le latin euh, pour mes examens en plus de beaucoup de sciences. So I'm explaining that I have always wanted to learn French, and it started way back from what I can remember from high school. And I really did not have any compelling reason. I wasn't going to France or anything. But there are some special exams that we take in about the 10th grade. And I took French and Latin as my secondary subjects, although I was supposed to be a science student. So that's how this all started.
Wow.
Plus tard, lorsque je suis arrivée en Amérique pour ma dernière année de lycée en 1974, j'ai repris le français et j'ai continué mes années universitaires. J'ai obtenu une majeure en chimie et une mineure en français. So I went to America in 1974. I was in 12th grade then, and I had a tough time with some teachers in my high school. Sister Elizabeth in 12th grade took French with her, and that's continued through my college years. And so I graduated college with a major in chemistry and
Uh-huh.
a minor in French. Don't ask me why, but that's what I did. So, uh,
Love it.
alors, je comprends le français écrit, mais je ne parle pas bien. So after all this, taking it in, even having a minor in French from an American university, I realized that I could understand a lot of the writing, but I really could not speak French. So, au cours des 50 dernières années, j'ai essayé d'apprendre avec d'autres programmes, mais aucun d'entre eux à eux la composante orale intensive. La composante. Hang on, let me do that again. Mais aucune d'entre eux à eux la composante orale intensifiée de Brigitte. I was trying to really get Bridget here. That's I stumbled over things. So really, I have tried in the past. My interest in French has continued, and I did try some other programs like Babbel. I tried signing up in the community college down the street from where I lived way back when, but none of them had the intensive immersion of and actually talking the way Bridget's programs are. And I did try Duolingo recently, and then went to Babbel again, and then finally stumbled upon Brigitte. So, avec les leçons Facebook et les cafés conversations deux fois par semaine, on est vraiment immergé dans la langue française. C'est ce que j'avais besoin. This is what I always wanted. Okay, the total immersion twice a week with the conversations. And Bridget sends notes almost every day, telling us another word or so. So I feel very immersed in French right now. So, dans le passé, j'évitais rejoindre des groupes de conversation. Mais j'ai réalisé maintenant que la seule façon de me sentir à l'aise pour parler est de me forcer à parler avec d'autres dans la langue. So over the years, I have sort of avoided being in conversation groups. Don't ask me why, but now I realize that the only way to really learn it is to be forced by Bridget and other people to actually participate in talking in the language.
Yes.
Now, I have loved this group. C'était très amusant d'être dans le groupe de Brigitte. Il y a tellement de personnes intéressantes dans le groupe avec beaucoup d'âge et d'expérience. Et nous semblons très patients et solidaires les uns envers les autres lorsque Brigitte nous fait lire des passages et les présenter au reste du groupe. So the folks in the group are so interesting. Just wide range group. A lot of us are pensioners or recently retired, but there's some very young folks too that are from all these different countries and doing lots of different things. So it's a fun group. And when we're reading and translating, we all seem to be very patient and supportive of each other. And I think that's terrific. J'ai encore interférences now that was sounded too English. J'ai quelques interférences ces derniers temps lorsque l'heure de travail de grammaire est en conflit avec les cours. Mais j'espère pouvoir participer pleinement dans un avenir proche. So, lately, unfortunately, I have not been able to participate as much in the classes because now that I'm supposed to be retired, I've gotten a new job as grandmother, and so have been traveling back and forth from Pennsylvania to Washington D.C., where I am right now. So my job as grandma is conflicting with my courses, but I do hope that in the future I will be able to fully participate. I think that's it.
Excellent. Merci beaucoup, Madame Grass. C'était vraiment super. Give yourself a big round of applause. That was wonderful. So, Madame Grass, let me ask you a few more questions. Is that okay?
That fine. Oui.
Excellent. So, Madame Grass, I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but what made you decide to start learning French now?
Well, since, like I said, over the years, I dipped and dabbed in French lessons.
Yes.
And so once I retired at the end of 2023, I thought there would be a perfect time to pick up all the things that I have wanted to do and couldn't. In the past, like the community lessons that I was trying to take was conflicting with my job as an OB-GYN doctor because babies come whenever they want to. So I would be trying to go to a French lesson and then I would have to get up and run off. So finally, I think the French teacher got tired of me and then so I had to not do that. So I figured that now that I was retired and I don't have to run to go do anything, I can take French lessons and music lessons and anything else that I've really loved. But I didn't count on the grammar thing coming in, but this too shall pass.
Wow, Madame Grass, that is wonderful. We're so happy to have you. Everyone loves you. You're so nice, and it's just amazing personality. You have an amazing personality. So, Madame Grass, let me ask you, what made you decide to join the Bonjour Brigitte program?
So I honestly, I think just before I joined that, I had joined yet another French program. I don't even remember what that one was called.
Oh.
So probably was my fault, but I quickly realized that instead of talking, they would present something and then you would have to type in the answers.
Oh no.
Then they would correct it. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm not practicing how to actually speak. And I'm not even sure how I stumbled onto Brigitte's, but I don't know whether, is it on Instagram? I don't know. But somewhere along the line, I saw it and then, decided to take a chance and it turned out to be, what I was looking for. So this has been great, honestly.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I know you said thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, Madame Kras. And let me ask you, what's been your favorite part so far? The speaking, right? You mentioned that?
Yeah, I think the speaking, the conversation cafes, because like I said, I can pretty much recognize what I'm reading,
Yeah.
because I've taken formal lessons all this time, kind of like my piano lessons. I used to do classical music, so it was very formal and all that. And now I'm back to the piano, but I wanted more fun and just something that you can just share. And to me, that's almost exactly the same as wanting to learn French, because in a sense, music is another language, right?
Totally.
So,
Totally.
but I don't want to do formal French that I'm reading. I want to be able to just have a conversation. So
Wow.
Bridget is tough, but she's doing she does a lot of laughing and teasing us, but she's very supportive. But boy, she gives you a lot of work to do. And there's another piece that there are those lessons that one has to go through, and I haven't gotten to too many of them yet. So I'm hoping Bridget hasn't noticed that I've done about 3 out of 10. So, but I do think that if I were able to have it, I signed up for it just before I got my new job here in DC. So I really thought I was going to be home with nothing to do, and it hasn't really worked out that way. But I think that if anybody else has the time and wants to do it and does all the pieces as arranged, it would be very helpful to them.
Yes. And Madame Class right now, there's, actually 43 lessons. So you can go
Wow.
ahead. Yeah, you can watch all of them when you go back to Philly.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. No, Madame Class, that is wonderful. And if someone doesn't know French, they're nervous about learning French and they want to join, what would you say to them?
Well, I think that the first most important, at least for me, when I think of all the years that I did not want to be in a group and practice talking,
Yes.
I think that was my biggest mistake. Um, I have I actually shared with Bridget that since I'm from Ghana and I'm from a tribe in Ghana that speaks something a Akan language called Fanti, so I speak another language, and so technically English is my second language, although it's the official language, so that's what we use. But my American-born daughter um, married someone from Ghana, but she can't speak the language. So when all of us are speaking the other language, she can't get it. And she's tried to learn Fanti the way I used to try to learn French, meaning she takes courses, blah, 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 but she doesn't make herself actually speak with other folks because she thinks she's going to say it wrong and that she's going to be embarrassed and all. So, and I've told her, if you do it that way, you'll never learn. And now that she has a daughter, we're all going to teach her daughter how to speak the language. Her daughter is 4, my granddaughter, and she already knows how to say all those poems and things in the other language that her mom doesn't know. So very soon she'll be the only one who can speak this language. So if you really want to learn French and speak it, then I think these kind of courses are better.
Yes.
If you just want to read it and write poems and those kinds of things, then the old way might help you.
Wow, merci beaucoup, Madame Pras. Vous êtes vraiment fantastique. Vous êtes vraiment super. And last question, would you recommend the Bonjour Brigitte program to others?
Yes, as I just said, I really do think that the true way, and people have often said that kids that the best way to learn another language is children pick it up so easily. Like even with my 4-year-old granddaughter, I there was some African song, I sang it like once and she picked it up right away with the right accent. So I think that the it's too bad that languages are introduced at a higher level in school, because by that time then you're conscious of how you're saying it and all that, as opposed to just repeating it and just getting immersed in it. So then what you're doing is not really learning the language, you're saying it and translating it in your head, which is not the same thing. When you really, when I let myself force myself not to think it and just say it, it just works better. So yes, I would highly recommend such a course. um, of course, usually people are interested because they're going somewhere or they're dating somebody or whatever. But then maybe there are other people like me who just want to know things. So, I think that would work for them as well.
Wow! Merci beaucoup, Madame Grace.